Procedure in federal district courts sitting in diversity generally is governed by federal law and the federal rules of civil procedure, not by state laws or rules. However, under the Erie doctrine, when a party has alleged a direct conflict between the federal rules of civil procedure and state law, a court must determine whether, when fairly construed, the federal rule directly conflicts with state law, thereby leaving no operation of state law. In the 1987 case Burlington Northern Railroad Company v. Woods, the United States Supreme Court considered whether a state law that imposed a penalty on those who were unsuccessful in their appeals directly conflicted with a federal rule of appellate procedure that provided no such penalty. In August 1982, Alan and Carol Woods were riding their motorcycle down Main Street in Pensacola, Florida, when they approached a set of railroad tracks at an intersection. The railroad tracks were owned and operated by Burlington Northern Railroad Company. As the Woods drove over the tracks, their motorcycle overturned, causing them to sustain injuries. Subsequently, the Woods sued Burlington and Alabama State Court to recover damages for injuries sustained in the accident. Specifically, the Woods argued that the accident was caused by a dangerous defect in the surface of the tracks that Burlington owned and maintained. In response, Burlington filed a motion to remove the case to a federal district court having diversity jurisdiction, which the Alabama State Court granted. Following a jury trial, the Woods obtained a judgment in their favor. Burlington then appealed to the 11th Circuit. But before appealing, Burlington executed a bond to stay the judgment. At the time, an Alabama statute required state appellate courts, upon affirming a money judgment without substantial modification, to impose a 10% penalty on any appellant who had obtained a stay of that judgment by executing a bond. By contrast, Rule 38 of the Federal Rules of Appellate Procedure permitted federal courts to award just damages for frivolous appeals. After affirming the judgment without modification, the 11th Circuit granted the Woods' motion to impose Alabama's statutory penalty. The United States Supreme Court granted cert.